Hello and welcome to Fearless DIY Music. My name is Tristan Lass, and today I'd like to talk about beginner pedal boards. Recently, JHS of Pedal World fame, and they're also famous for their amazing show, which I am a fan of. They released an episode about a beginner pedal board, and I had some issues with the video. Due to the fact that it seemed like they were assuming that the person who would be building this pedal board had a fair amount of cash to spend. Let's take a look at the numbers here. So they built a beautiful board. There's no question. They used all the right stuff to build the board. It's one of those boards where, like, when it's all done, you could take it to any show anywhere, use it on any stage anywhere, take it to a studio, whatever, and people will be like, wow, that is a really nice board. And I'm not sure a beginner actually needs to have that. So I kind of came up with my own beginner board. But first I want to go down the rabbit hole of money with the JHS board. This is my little beginner board right here. We'll get to that after we run down some cash. So they used a mono board. They're super nice boards. They used a very small one that held 5 pedals. And I looked up these items on Sweetwater just to kind of see what the dollar amounts for these items were. And they did that in their video as well, to be fair, of course. So anyway, I actually found the mono pedal board cheaper on Sweetwater. It was $130. Then they went into power. And this one is a little controversial to me because I have 0 isolated power bricks for any of my pedal boards. I have a total of 5 pedal boards. Some of them are not commissioned right now. I've been kind of paring down my rigs, but I'll be going through what I use, but I use essentially glorified daisy chains for most of my stuff, if not actual daisy chains, one spot type things. So anyway, they advised getting the Voodoo Lab and the 5 with 5 powered outs, and that retails for $140. You can get one that only has 4 power outs, and that would be $120. But we're going to go with what they did. So we're at $130 plus $140, so we're at $270 for the power supply and for the board. All right. Then cables. Cables, I make my own patch cables, soldered, because I have so much leftover old instrument cable. I just buy ends and then I make my own. So DIYing it, you can make tons of patch cables for almost nothing. I mean, if you get decent connector ends, it can run like $30 for a set of 10. Or no, even more. You can get even more than that for $30 of decent quality ones. But if you're just buying off the shelf, you can buy like Hosa, little molded Hosa cables like these right here. Those are relatively cheap. Like, $10 will get you a 3-pack of those, which would get us to this board right here. They were advising getting, the flat cables that are super nice, and that expense didn't concern me at all. Good cables are worth it. And you don't want to have to be tracking down that kind of crap when you set up your first board and you're like, why isn't it working? And, a shorting cable or a really poor quality cable shouldn't be used. And I also agree with them wholeheartedly about not using solderless cables. I think that whole idea is just kind of bunk anyway. So that being said, you're also in for Velcro with them. And so with the cables and the Velcro, you're probably adding another, let's be kind and say about $45-50 to the list. So we're at $270. We're up to like $320 roughly. And then they populated the board with 5 JHS 3 series pedals, which are budget pedals by today's standards. They're $100 a piece. From where I live, I still like to search my local stores and pawn shops and Reverb and other places online, looking for, old pedals, like, old Boss stuff. And then like the pedals that I have here, we'll go over the cost of these pedals here in a few minutes, that are more in the $25 to $75 range. So we're in $500 for because the JHS 3 Series pedals are $99 a piece. So we're at $500 on pedals. And then the $320. So we're at $800. Let's just say it's $800 even. Let's say that you got some discount deals or you bought some used pedals or whatever, and you're at $800 for a 5-pedal beginner board. $800. When I think about that for a pedal board, for somebody who is building their first pedal board, I'm assuming that they also probably have their first guitar and first amp. So at that point, you got to think $800. I mean, $800, you could buy my board, a Squier, and a fairly nice combo amp, like a Hiwatt Crunch 50 2-channel amp. Is like $350. You get a Squier for the $350. You're at $700, and then this pedal clocks in at just a little bit north of $100. So, what did I do to create my version of what I think is actually a beginner's board? Well, it's literally a board. This is just a piece of wood with a little piece of wood attached here to hold it at an angle. Gives you a place to mount your power supply on the back. My power supply is just a little O-Tracky. These are $30 on Amazon and other places. And what I like about it is it's better than a daisy chain because you do have the independent cabling going from, you can route things a little bit cleaner than you can with the daisy chain. It gives you more flexibility. And supposedly, for not being a isolated power supply, it does have higher output supplies here on the end, which give you some more milliamps for pedals that demand more power. So we got a little power supply for $30, scrap wood, some Velcro, which, I buy for about $10 a roll down at Ace Hardware. And then you put the tooth side of the Velcro on the back of your pedals, and then there you go. For my beginner board, I decided to go with a Boss SD1. So you've got an overdrive. It can run your amp to distortion if your amp has a little crunch in it. So we've got a Boss SD1. We've got a Danelectro Fab Chorus. So these you can get for anywhere from $40 to $50 all day long. This pedal you can get for $25 to $35. It's a Fab Chorus by Danelectro. The Fab series, nobody really, cares about these pedals, but their chorus in particular is really good. It's kind of a dark sounding chorus, and when you move the speed up, it goes into vibrato territory. So this almost is a 2-in-1 pedal at a price point of around $30. And then my beloved Mosky Spring Reverb. You've seen this probably if you ever watch 60 Cycle Hum. Ryan has had this on his Affordaboard forever. He can't find one that beats it. So anyway, I love this as a reverb pedal, and I think that for somebody who's just getting into pedals, having a dirt pedal, a modulation pedal, and a reverb pedal is more than enough to get started with to help dialing tones. So let's see if this Affordaboard sounds like junk or not. So anyway, or my version of a beginner's pedal board. So that's my clean tone. All right, let's pop on the Boss and get a little bit of dirt. And that's on my single coil. We go down to the humbucker. And you get that nice crunch. So right there, and then, if you want to dime it, you can get even more. Get even more stuff going on. But we're going to put it back to about there. And then we got our modulation. And I just want to show what the Fab can do with, like, you know. Sounds nice, and that's kind of like with the speed low. Let's turn the speed up and get more into the vibrato kind of thing. And it does the vibrato seasick thing. So if you're into that, like I said, this is almost a 2-in-1 pedal. And like I said, for 30 bucks, these things used are nothing. And then let's go ahead and turn off our modulation and put on our reverb. This little guy is incredible for the price. That sounds pretty incredible for a pedal that brand new retails for around 25 bucks. So anyway, I made this video not to like trash JHS or to trash anybody else. If you have the money, you should buy what you want. I think, though, that branding something as a beginner setup that is just for effects pedals that retails over $800 is unreasonable. When I was 13 years old, my parents weren't giving me money to go out and buy gear. I'm sure that new players today, young players today, they probably do not have $800 to spend solely upon an effects pedal board. They're not going to. They're going to be struggling just to get the amp and the guitar and cables and a tuner, you know, and things like that. So I just wanted to show what my perception of what an actual affordable or beginner board probably should look like, so that you don't have to go broke. And then, of course, buy the, you know, if you become a gigging musician, or if you're working in studios, or if you're getting paid to play music, of course you want that nicer setup. Of course you do, but you'll have the resources to do it. Anyway, I would just like to thank everybody who's watched the video thus far. If you have, I would appreciate a subscription, a like, and a share. Comment section is just blowing up. Subscriptions are going way up as well. I'm so grateful to everybody for all of their support, and I love just chatting with everybody in the comment section. It's great. So anyway, you take care, and we'll see you next time.